In quiet rooms above city skylines, behind glass walls overlooking restless streets, decisions are made that move millions of dollars in a single breath. The air is often still. No dramatic music, no applause, just a mind at work. While the world studies the visible signs of wealth, the cars, the properties, the tailored suits, the real architecture of success remains invisible. It exists in patterns of thought, in disciplined perception, in the ability to see what others overlook and to remain steady when others react. Money at scale is rarely accidental. It follows frameworks, mental structures refined over years of risk, failure, recovery, and strategic patience. Tonight, we step into those frameworks. Not motivational slogans, not exaggerated myths, but the quiet mental models that shape how many millionaires interpret the world around them. We're starting with number 5, long-term orientation. The ability to think in decades instead of days. Most people live inside short timelines. Weekly paychecks, monthly bills, quarterly results. But many self-made millionaires stretch their perception of time. They delay gratification not as an act of discipline alone, but as a strategy of multiplication. When they invest, they are not asking what happens this month. They are asking what compounds over 10 or 20 years. When they build a company, they are not chasing immediate applause. They are constructing systems designed to outlive trends. This model reshapes decision-making. It reduces emotional volatility. A market dip becomes less terrifying when viewed against a 30-year horizon. A temporary failure becomes data, not identity. Long-term thinking demands patience, and patience filters out impulsive behavior. It allows capital to grow quietly in the background, while others chase quick wins. Over time, this orientation creates an invisible advantage, because compounding does not only apply to money, it applies to knowledge, relationships, reputation, and skill. The millionaire who consistently thinks long-term begins to stack small, intelligent decisions that accumulate into disproportionate outcomes. The second model goes deeper. Number 4 is opportunity cost awareness. Every yes is a no to something else. Time, energy, and capital are finite resources, even for the wealthy. Millionaires often develop an almost instinctive calculation in the background of every decision. If I commit here, what am I sacrificing elsewhere? This mindset sharpens focus. It prevents distraction, disguised as opportunity. When a new venture appears promising, the question is not simply, will this make money? It is this the highest and best use of my resources compared to every alternative? That subtle shift changes everything. It transforms busyness into intentionality. It reduces clutter. It creates space for high-leverage decisions. Many people measure decisions in isolation. Millionaires measure them comparatively. They understand that a good option can still be a poor choice if a better one exists. Over years, this disciplined filtering compounds into clarity. It explains why some individuals seem almost ruthless with their schedules, protective of their attention, unwilling to engage in low-return commitments. They are not being dismissive. They are honoring the invisible cost attached to every moment. As wealth increases, the cost of misallocated time rises dramatically, and so does the precision of decision-making. Now we move into more structural thinking. Number 3 is leverage. Not effort alone, but multiplied effort. Leverage means using systems, people, technology, or capital to produce results far beyond individual capacity. A salaried mindset often equates income with hours worked. A leverage mindset breaks that equation. It asks, how can one action produce recurring returns? How can one idea scale beyond personal limitations? Millionaires often build or invest in structures that work even when they are not present. Businesses with management layers, assets that generate passive income, intellectual property that earns repeatedly. Leverage is not laziness. It is architecture. It requires upfront intensity, designing systems, hiring carefully, structuring ownership. But once established, it shifts the relationship between effort and outcome. This mental model changes how problems are approached. Instead of asking, how do I work harder? The question becomes, how do I build something that works harder than I can? Over time, leveraged decisions create asymmetry. The upside expands while the downside remains controlled. It is one of the clearest distinctions between incremental growth and exponential growth, and it often separates high earners from true wealth builders. But leverage without judgment can become dangerous, which leads us further inward. Number 2 is probabilistic thinking, the understanding that outcomes are rarely certain, only likely. Instead of labeling decisions as right or wrong based solely on results, millionaires often evaluate the quality of the decision based on the odds at the time it was made. This protects them from emotional extremes. A good decision can lead to a bad outcome due to variables beyond control. A reckless gamble can occasionally succeed. Probabilistic thinkers detach ego from randomness. They ask, what is the expected value? What are the risks? What is the upside relative to the downside? This mental model allows for boldness without blindness. It explains how some individuals can place calculated bets repeatedly without being paralyzed by fear. Losses are anticipated as part of statistical reality. Wins are not viewed as proof of genius. Over time, consistently making high probability decisions with favorable asymmetry tilts the odds. It is less dramatic than headlines suggest, more mathematical, almost clinical. This mindset also reduces regret, because if a decision was sound, based on available information, its outcome becomes feedback, not self-condemnation. Emotional resilience grows from this perspective, and resilience sustained over decades becomes a formidable asset. Now we approach the deepest layer. Before we reveal number 1, pause for a moment. If you're finding value in this exploration of how wealth is shaped at the level of thought, take a second to share your perspective in the comments. Which of these mental models resonates most with you so far? And if you appreciate deep, unsettling storytelling that examines success beneath the surface, consider liking this video and subscribing to Deeper 5. Because the final model is not just strategic, it is psychological. Number 1 is identity-based thinking, the internal narrative that defines who you believe you are. Many millionaires do not merely pursue wealth as a goal. They construct identities aligned with value creation, discipline, adaptability, and ownership. Instead of saying, I want to be rich, the narrative becomes, I am the kind of person who builds assets. I am someone who solves problems. I am someone who learns continuously. This shift sounds subtle, but it rewires behavior. Goals fluctuate. Identity persists. When setbacks occur, and they always do, An identity anchored in resilience and growth absorbs the shock. Failure does not threaten the core self, it reinforces it. Identity-based thinking also influences standards. If someone sees themselves as a disciplined investor, reckless speculation feels inconsistent. If they see themselves as a strategic thinker, impulsive decisions create internal friction. Over time, behavior aligns with self-perception. And self-perception, repeated often enough, becomes reality. This model operates quietly beneath all the others. Long-term orientation becomes easier when patience is part of identity. Opportunity cost awareness sharpens when focus defines you. Leverage expands naturally when you see yourself as a builder of systems. Probabilistic thinking stabilizes when you identify as rational rather than reactive. Identity is the foundation beneath every financial structure, and it may be the most unsettling realization of all, because it suggests that wealth is not merely accumulated externally. It is constructed internally first. The external world eventually mirrors the internal architecture. Not perfectly, not instantly, but persistently. When you study individuals who have built significant fortunes, you often find this common thread. Their habits align with who they believe they are. They protect their self-concept fiercely. They refine it deliberately. And once that identity solidifies, decisions follow almost automatically. The mind becomes the primary asset. Markets fluctuate. Industries evolve. Technologies disrupt entire sectors. But a deeply ingrained identity, adaptive, disciplined, long-term oriented, can navigate changing terrain. It can rebuild after collapse. It can recognize opportunity in uncertainty. And perhaps that is the quiet truth, hidden beneath visible wealth. Money is fluid. It moves. It can be lost. It can be regained. But the mental models that generate it, when truly internalized, remain portable. They travel across industries, across economic cycles, across decades. In the end, the difference between those who briefly touch success and those who sustain it often lies not in intelligence alone, nor in luck, nor even in initial resources. It lies in how reality is interpreted, in whether time is seen as an ally or an enemy, in whether trade-offs are measured or ignored, in whether effort is multiplied or merely expended, in whether risk is understood statistically or feared emotionally, and in whether identity is constructed by circumstance or chosen deliberately. The lights in those high-rise offices eventually turn off. The meetings conclude. The markets close for the day. But the thinking continues. Quietly, systematically. And in that silence, fortunes are not just managed, they are engineered. If there is something unsettling about this, it is the realization that these models are not reserved for the wealthy. They are available to anyone willing to examine how they think, which raises a final question that lingers long after the numbers fade. If outcomes are shaped by mental architecture, then what invisible structures are guiding your decisions tonight?